Guys, it's Bella. So I wanted to also I wanted to guys like keep up with you guys and actually start making more videos. I know I haven't made any videos in like a really long time. It's been like forever. But I actually wanted to get back into it, but actually show more into like my mental health and more into exercising exercising tips and stuff. But you guys can comment and see like what you guys would like to see more on my page. Just cause like it's all over the place. So I was actually gonna just come into this video and talk about my mental health, which is my bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed at 19 years old. I've had I have anxiety, I have depression, various things. So I just wanted to kind of just main focus on my bipolar disorder and kind of talk about the symptoms, how it was, how do I live with it, how do I maintain a relationship, how do I maintain my lifestyle. I feel like there's a lot of people who have bipolar disorder and do not really know what they actually are going through, and these are kind of the tips on figuring out what to do with your mental health, how to be more gentle with yourself, how to talk to yourself, and how to figure out the best way to take care of ourselves without hurting ourselves. So I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder 1. So my episodes can last from a week to 2 weeks sometimes. They don't last that long though, depending on the stress factor. But if I haven't slept, then it's a whole week. It's a whole week of either me super manic, and manic is not good. A lot of people think that manic is this, oh, like euphoric, like you're just feeling like a bad bitch all the time. No, no, no. You are, but you're not, if that makes sense. You are covering up the fact that you're really fucking stressed out and you're exhausted, and your brain's not even like, you're not even sleeping. So what it happens, it's kind of like when trauma happens to our life and it keeps happening, like with bipolar disorder, is that we had so much things like throwing at us that we weren't even able to have like a moment to really figure out what we feel and then be able to feel it in the right way, and or even express our emotions. So that's why it's more they last in 2 weeks, or they last into it just depends. It's really weird. So that's why sometimes those days are going to be very going crazy, that you have all this energy, you can literally clean the whole house and it just doesn't bother you. It's like your brain's on crack, and it's like what is really weird, and why it's so hard to diagnose bipolar disorder, it's because it's super similar to ADHD. The manic episodes, they're very like ADHD. You can't sit still. Your thoughts are racing. You have to be going. Like your body is like, let's go right now. You can't sit still. It's almost impossible to sit still. Like you'll sit down and you're just like, I need to get up. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, you know what I mean? And it's horrible because you're just like, why am I moving so much? Like sometimes I do that and I feel the stress coming on when I'm doing that. And then I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why am I doing that to myself? So the best thing to do when you're feeling manic and you feel like, oh my God, I have all this energy, slow the fuck down, go somewhere safe. Go somewhere safe where you feel comfortable to. Slow down, like just let yourself relax. What I would say is do music. Honestly, music helps me so much. It really relaxes me. It makes me kind of just calm down and just kind of like, okay, like I'm gonna listen to this, I guess. It's really hard to keep yourself occupied when you're just going through all these emotions, if that makes sense. And then the depressive episodes are the worst. Those are the worst. Those are when you're just crying for hours and days. It's really down. Like think out of it as, you know how like manic is, right? It's highs, euphoric. Okay, now imagine the depressive states. Very low. So they have a very like weird mixture. Why bipolar is like this also is chemical imbalances. You have an imbalance in your brain. So your brain is not able to produce enough endorphins, testosterone. I can never say that name. Testosterone. I can never say that name. I don't know why. But our brain is just not able to, it's just not able to. So what it would really help, honestly, is making sure like you're gonna be feeling like I can't get up, I don't want to do anything anymore, I don't want to brush my teeth. Like you don't want to brush your teeth, you don't want to brush your hair, you don't want to do nothing. Literally, you're just so depressed that there's no hope. There's no hope. There's just, you stay in bed and that's it. That's like, you feel so bad inside. You're just like so out of it. You're detached. Detached, you're not really feeling like you're in your body. You feel like you're out of there. You feel like you're not there. And the most of the time you feel very empty. And it's a horrible feeling because a lot of people would be like, a lot of people will come up to me during these moments and during these episodes, and they'd be like, telling me something very like, sad, or something very, something that I would usually like react really well to, if that makes sense. More empathy. When you have bipolar disorder, you have less empathy. I don't know why, but you really do. You don't feel as much. But then during those either manic or depressive states, your emotions are skyrocketed, like over the fucking top. You're feeling even more. Like when you're sad, you're fucking feeling horrible. Like you're done. Someone's gonna kill you at this point. I'm done. Literally. Like you'll do anything at this point. Bipolar 1 is actually considered one of the most, it is dangerous. It is very, just because, in manic episodes or in depressive states, the person can have very high, very highs and then very lows. The very lows are worse and the very highs are very bad as well. The very highs and the very lows are very bad because the very highs, you'll do anything to get rid of that feeling. Gambling, money, spending your money a lot. Like, you'll probably spend your money on weird bullshit that doesn't even matter. You'll start to even maybe think of ways of like, oh, I'm gonna start a company, or I'm gonna do this, or you know what? I can fucking do this. Like, you make up a whole weird plan to like invade this place, or you're like, you know what? You know what I can do? I could be a president. Or you could just think that you could do all these crazy things. It's crazy. And then like when you're manic, I was like, why it's so bad also? Because your sexual like body is like, your body is just so needing that sexual energy. If that, not sexual energy, but what I think it is more attention, is more love. Because I feel like with bipolars, they've never felt probably love in their life. So because of this, they try to empty that feeling with something that feels okay, if that makes sense. So bipolar disorder, it's very complicated. Manic episodes, you can go crazy and you can start gambling, start spending your money on bullshit, on random things, maybe start stealing, taking drugs. Also, you would be having sex a lot, like a lot. You would probably be having sex maybe with randoms, or with people you barely know, or and this is a safe place, so please don't think that you're judged if you do this, because we all have our things, right? And do not feel bad about it because you weren't thinking in that way. That's also what the thing about bipolar, we don't really remember half the things we do or half the things we say. So, and then people will come to us and be like, hey, you said this to me, or you did this to me. And then we're just like, no, I didn't. And then I'm just like, oh shit, I did do that. Or maybe I did do that. Or they gave me the receipts. I'm like, oh, I did do that. So that's the hardest part. Taking responsibility with your mental health is very difficult. Because I used to blame it on I'm not gonna lie, I used to blame it on my bipolar disorder all the time. And I honestly hate that. I don't like that about me. I want to be able to fix that part of me and not be so messed up. Because it's not okay, you know. It's not okay for us to be feeling so bad after we did something like that, because it mostly why we acted that way, or why we were going crazy or whatever, is mainly because we were treated that way. And I don't like to feel like, okay, if I'm being treated this way, I'm gonna treat you this way. No, 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 no. I don't want to feel like that. And that's like, we really feel horrible right after, because we're just like, if we do remember, we feel fucking terrible. Because we don't know what to do. We like, it's horrible to be like, hey, I'm sorry, it was my bipolar disorder. You know what I mean? It really is a complicated thing. So you just have to be like, I apologize for my actions, and I will never do that again. If I do act like that again, please tell me. And I tell my friends, if I need space, I need fucking space. Just because when you're bipolar, you will say things that you do not mean. You will not think about it. You will not feel the emotion that you're saying behind this. So after you said it, and after you were kind of like, you're getting into more of the, like, okay, I'm here and I'm hearing this, you just be like, wow, like, I feel fucking terrible. I'm so sorry. So that's one of the biggest things that also was very difficult with me during my relationship, because I had to try and now see the ways I was being toxic and how I had to fix it. We are going to be going to counseling together, because you really can't manage bipolar disorder by yourself, or just letting your partner fix it together. It's not healthy. It's really helpful to have someone there so they can understand why you do the things you do, and you could figure out a better way of doing this, and then the signs, so then your partner is able to detect, oh, okay, they're in a manic episode, they're a depressive episode. It's super confusing. One of the other things about bipolar disorder, it's hypomania. Hypomania is just like mania, but it's even more. It's woo. You're feeling up there. Let's just say that. You don't care about your consequences. You don't care about what you're doing. You care about what you get out of it and what you feel. That's it. Literally it. So, and we will start to, like, sometimes our feelings get so detached from ourselves, we don't know where we're feeling. We really don't. We suppress so much of that anger, sadness, shame, guilt inside of ourselves, so deep in it, that why we have these episodes, why we have these burst outs. Because we, as children, we were never allowed to express these emotions. So in order for that, we started hiding them. And then as we got older, it started becoming very, not violent, but very complex. And it started changing our brain. The trauma can change your brain. Please, if you want to do research on that, you should do some research and say, research, like, how does trauma affect the brain? How does bipolar affect the brain? It really changes the brain. So you do want to know how it changes your brain. It changes our sleep, our behavior, our memory, the way we feel, the way we think. It's so wired because we were this way for so long and we didn't even know this. Do you know what I mean? Medication as well. It's kind of difficult to find good medication. I'm now trying to find good medication. I've had bipolar disorder probably since I was a child. I don't know how long, but I just know that I've had it for a very long time, because I've had this imprinted in my brain for a very long time. I've always told my parents when I was a child, like, I don't think I'm okay. Like, I think I'm bipolar, and I literally, because I was around 14 or 15 that time when I told them. I was like, I think I'm bipolar. And they're like, no, I don't think so. You're fine. You know, that's how it always is. You're fine. You have nothing to worry about. And then years later, you find out you have this condition, and you're just like, motherfucker, why? Why now? Yeah, it's not fun. And with that's why it can be really, but I didn't actually explain. So bipolar disorder with the depressive episodes, those are bad too, really bad, because with bipolar 1, it's almost like tunnel vision. Whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling. If you're not feeling good, you will not feel good. Nothing will make you feel good. Like being talked to or being loved, like, it just won't help. You're just so empty. You're so gone from yourself. And you feel horrible because you feel that. You feel empty, and you're just like, I don't like this. I don't like this. But I can't get out of it. You know what I mean? I can't get out of it. So, and in those two, when I say you have tunnel vision, is what I mean. You will do anything to hurt yourself if something does happen. If something does trigger you, and you get in a panic mode, or you get into, anxiety attack or a panic attack, any of those, you will do anything possible to hurt yourself. You will try to cut yourself as much as possible, and you won't even know. Like, you wouldn't even know in the moment until you do it later. And sometimes you won't even have a memory that you didn't even do it. My mom's a narcissist. So I grew up with a narcissist for a very long time. My best friend was a psychopath, like an actual psychopath. So it's a lot of things. You know what I mean? I think the biggest thing with bipolar disorder is that get the fuck out of the situation that made you like that. If you're in a bad situation, do not stay there. Be in a place where you feel comfortable. Be in a place where you feel fucking safe, where you're able to heal, where you're able to get better. Because when you're stuck in a place that caused you all that pain, how are you supposed to heal from that place? That place caused you all that pain in the first place. How is it going to help you? How is it going to heal? If you heal, it's going to keep happening. No matter what, because guess what? That house has all the negative energy in there. All those people are negative energy, and you cannot stay in that house. You need to be able to heal yourself and to be better, feel better. I've had a lot of episodes where I've hurt myself and I didn't even know. My mother, who hit me in the moment of my episode, I just remember getting really mad and getting really upset because she hit me. So I ran outside. I don't really know that I did it. My brothers told me they saw me punch the power box. So yeah. I did that because the power box is literally right outside. And I remember because she kept chasing me outside. So when I punched they just told me I punched the power box. And after I punched the power box, I just remember looking at my hand. And it was just really messed up. It was this hand. I could tell it was just not okay. I couldn't move it at all. It was very stiff. It was just like this the whole time. I couldn't move it at all. I couldn't move my fingers for maybe about 4 months. I really did hurt myself, I guess, that hard. I didn't realize how hard I hurt myself until I went to the hospital, and then, yeah. So I have better nobility now with my hand. It's just not as strong, and it's a lot more slower than this hand. So, it does suck, but it's, how can I do anything about it, I have, scars all over my hand. I don't know if you guys could probably see, but you can't. I have them right here and here. I have attempted to kill myself multiple times, many times, many times, and I all failed. I've tried a lot of different things because half those things didn't work on me. So I tried more and it didn't work. So, I kind of realized at that point, okay, maybe I'm not meant to die. Like, I'm actually just supposed to go through this shit, I guess. And later I got through it, and I really just I went to this whole like ego death, kind of being like, not ego death, but like kind of like this like trauma healing kind of thing. Like wow, like everything that happened was kind of meant to happen. Like, it's just because like, like, and I don't know if you guys are super into like spirituality, but I'm an empath. So I do believe that I'm meant to be here because I'm meant to help people. And I do like helping people a lot. I really do want to help people. So I think that's like maybe my purpose, like, is to like help people grow and open themselves up. And that's my goal as well, is like now to do as much as possible to be as happy as I can, and to never let that part of me die again, so it is a very difficult thing, bipolar disorder, because it's a very it's like it really is like a disease to the brain. Some days you're just not feeling it and you just hate it. You don't know why, and it's hard because when you're in a relationship, they notice this very quickly, but you don't know what's going on. So like when they're like, are you okay, you're just sitting there like, am I? Like, I don't know. Like, that's why it's like, it's honestly so hard to know sometimes what you're feeling. But when you're not feeling that way, you feel your emotions as a normal person. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's just too hard. Sometimes all the stress just comes down on you. There's a lot of factors that can come with the causes of bipolar disorder. You just have to tell yourself, I'm not the problem. You're not the problem. What happened is what happened. It can either be genetic or it can be because of factors that happen in your life. Stressful, like PTSD and stuff like that. Traumatic experiences can make bipolar happen. So please don't blame yourself. Please don't. Don't say it's because I was like this. Really, half of us are not even trying to be like this. What we grew up with and who we were around really detects about how we feel around each other, how we feel about ourselves. After that, after a person, like, if you imagine it, a bad person and you're a good person, that bad person doesn't like how beautiful you are, doesn't like how open you are, doesn't like how amazing you are. So they're going to break that part of you. And that's why you have to tell yourself, I'm never ever going to be broken down by a person like that ever again. I'm going to tell myself that I'm loved, I'm amazing, I deserve the best, I deserve love, I deserve happiness. And you should tell yourself that every single time. With bipolar disorder, if you do believe that you have bipolar disorder, try and research as much as possible. Write down all the symptoms that you think you're having and show it to your doctor, and from there they can kind of like be like, okay, so you're having this symptoms. So then at least like you're not just telling them like, oh, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling this way. It's like, you know what I mean? It's better to have like a list so you can show them like, hey, this is how I feel sometimes. Like, I don't know if that is bipolar disorder, but I don't feel all right, And the best thing to do is find out that you're gonna be better. You're gonna be better. You're gonna be better. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna get better from this. It really is a lifelong condition, but you can get rid of this. I believe we can get rid of this. I believe with treatment and with time and with patience and how much we love ourselves, how much we try to put efforts into ourselves more than others, how we love ourselves more and more and more, self-confidence, healing, I think that will really help us. It is a very hard decision to do. I think one of the things that I used to do as well, I take natural medicine. So like stress and anxiety relief, like I use that and it kind of gets rid of my anxiety for a little bit, and it's really nice. Like, it feels really nice. I was on antidepressants for such a long time, and yes, it did make my bipolar worse. Do not use antidepressants if you are bipolar. If you think you're bipolar, please just don't use them at all. Don't use them at all. Because I'm bipolar and I use antidepressants, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's very horrible. It makes you more manic. It's more dangerous. So don't do that to yourself, please. Just wait, have time, talk to a doctor, call a bunch of them and tell them I want to make an appointment. I think that I have bipolar disorder. I want to have a physical evaluation. I can't remember the name, but it's where they scan your brain also. They do physical things, physical checkups, and also talking to you every day. Not every day, but some days, so they can figure out it's really what you're feeling, because they don't want to give you the wrong diagnosis. And mostly that's what they do. They always be like, oh, you're depressed, or you have this, and it's like later you find out that you don't have this and it's that, and you're like, oh for such a long time I thought I was just depressed. I started taking antidepressants, and then then I went to the hospital because I was trying to kill myself. So I went to the hospital before I could try to do that to myself. Sorry. And they talked to me for hours and hours and hours. I was there for hours. And I did a bunch of tests. And after that, they told me, you have a mood disorder. You have bipolar disorder. And I was like, wow. So I'm not really depressed then. I'm fucking bipolar. That's completely different. I mean, it's the same, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? They're completely different. Intense, super intense mood swings. It's horrible. You know? I think it was really hard for me to admit that to myself. For a while, it was just like, wow, I'm bipolar. You know? But that's why you have to tell yourself, I'm not the problem. What happened to me in the past is the problem, is what happened to me. Whoever did this, you know, it could be because of factors of a genetic, or it could be because of traumatic experiences. It's so much things. It can be so much things. So that's why the best thing to do is really make sure that you have all the information that you can tell the doctor, and you have for yourself, so you know that you're not going crazy, you know? But that's pretty much it, guys. I'll also show some pictures and videos on what happens when I have episodes, how to calm yourself down. I can show a video how I am during an episode. It's very intense. During my manic episodes, I'm more just, I look like I look like I'm just on crack. I'm just moving around the whole place. But my depressive states, I'm more like wow, breaking everything. I don't want to be around anything. I'm just yeah, it's crazy. So I think the best thing to do is really just try to figure out your symptoms before you feel like that. So what I would say is, honestly, journal how you feel every day. So then you would know how you're feeling each day. So one day you're feeling this sadness. One day you're feeling this. Right now in this week, sadly, I'm in my depressive, and I'm in mixed episode. A mixed episode is not fun. A mixed episode is very complicated. It's very dangerous as well too. It's when you're feeling manic and you're feeling depressed. So you're in these I want to die, but nah, I want to have fun, you know? So it's bad. The best thing I do really is stay with my boyfriend as much as possible. I hang out with him all the time. We go to the park, we go to the beach, we take walks. I do things so I can get my mind off things, and I can kind of relax from thinking, oh my God, I'm fucking stressed out, or oh my God, I just hate how I'm feeling. Do you know what I mean? So it really does help a lot when you're feeling so fucking out of it, to get out of there. Get out of where you are, and just sit down. You don't need to say anything. When you're in that state, you really can't talk. It's impossible. It's almost like there's nothing to talk about. You feel nothing. How can you help me if I feel nothing? Do you know what I mean? So try to get outside. Besides the house that you're in, just get outside, stand outside, and just wait. Breathe. If you listen to music, but listen to the outside. Listen to the birds chirp, listen to the trees move. Distract your brain from all the chaos, distract it with something positive, something calming, you know, like music, dancing, video games, maybe. There's a lot of things, guys. There's so much things that we could do that could help us. It really is hard though, because we don't make that in our brain. You know, our chemicals, we don't have that. We have that imbalance. So that's why we have to do more. We have to try more, because you know, who's going to do that for us? We have to try more. That's our happiness. Our happiness is very important. It's like your first priority. It has to be. It has to be. You are important. Your needs are important. Your happiness is important. Your feelings are important. So please let yourself feel all the feelings you're feeling. And please comment, guys, if you ever want to hear anything else about bipolar disorder, if you guys want to hear more videos about anything else. And I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. So please comment, like, and follow. Yeah. And I love you guys so much. And subscribe, please. Love